Hello, today we'll be talking about Nicema and the body rituals that they have. In the article, he talks about the holy mouth men, the medicine men, and the listener. When they talk about the holy mouth men, they talk about people laying down on a blank table, hardwood, and then they go into their mouth and find the holes in their mouth and make them bigger, and then fill them with something. And they were talking about dentists, which is interesting to see that when coming from the outside perspective of dentists, it's interesting to see that people are like, what is that? Something that is foreign to them. And then they talk about the medicine men, which is doctors and nurses and people like that help the ill and the injured and hospitals. They talk about how it's just a bunch of people doing rituals and making remedies and stuff like that, but they can only do it in the temple, which is the hospital, and they only do it if they give a rich gift, and they can only help people if there's a rich gift involved, which is interesting to see that from the outside culture, it's already showing that it's so wealth dependent on money and wealth. And then they also talk about the listener, who is, and how it helps people that have been bewitched, and how they have problems and fears and concerns, and they would talk to the listener about this, and the problems and fears often come from their childhood, when in actual it's talking about a therapist and how you help them with their mental problems and the trauma from their childhood, if they have any, or their problems that they're doing in their life, or their mental issues that they got going on. And it's interesting to see that from an outside perspective, that they think that somebody that is dealing with something like that is possessed or witched or whatever. And so that's interesting to see that connection. Next we will be talking about a different ritual from the U.S. culture. For example, I want to talk about the culture of fast food and stuff like that. From the outside perspective of different other cultures, you could see that we are just a bunch of people waiting in these long lines that take forever to get through, just to get a bag of grease, that it's unhealthy for us and fattening and is not good. And how we're so at the standard of impatientness and the convenience, that we need to make sure that the food is quality and fast and quick and not and out of our way, so it's interesting to see you could describe the fast food culture from the outside perspective as this disgusting, horrible thing that people are doing by just coming home and handing bags of grease and food and stuff like that to their friends, and just not a good culture. Just how lazy we have gotten, and that we have food even get ordered and come straight to our door, because of how the conveniency of that is how nice it is. And then it's from the outside culture, that can be seen as lazy, and the fact that we won't go out of our way to make a healthy food or to cook or something like that. It's just that we only want conveniency, and if it's gonna take time out of that day, we don't want to do it, and we don't really care about our health as long as it's good and convenient. Over the years, it's changed, as in the food has gotten quicker, and we expect it to be at this quality, at this fast, and the food takes more than 20 minutes to be done, where you're already expected to we get irritated by that. If food takes more than 30 seconds to be made, it frustrates us. And so from an outside culture, fast food can be this whole as the years went on, it became this whole idea of convenient, and how fast we can get food, and how much we can do in a day, and how much money we can make off of this quick little meal, or this $1 hamburger that takes 30 seconds to get, and it's really unhealthy for you, but it's convenient, and you get food, and it's good, and it's quality. And back when fast food started, these burgers were more of a quality burger, and it was fast food, but it wasn't as fast as it is today. And that leads me to my next talking point, which is it detrimental or is it beneficial to the US culture? I think fast food is both detrimental and beneficial, as in the sense of it's beneficial because it gives people the more opportunity to get food, and like it's cheaper and gives people the opportunity to go out and with friends and all get food and just enjoy a meal together. However, I also think it's very detrimental as it makes us lazier, and it also makes us unhealthier as the food is not good for you. It is made of a lot of unhealthy byproducts and greases and fats and just not good food for you. So I think that it could be beneficial if we change the meaning of the type of food that we expect, and that the quality of it. But for the most part, fast food is detrimental as most of us use it, and it's really unhealthy for us.